Hey everybody, welcome back to my December daily album for 2023, sharing my story ideas here as we go along. We'll just do a little refresh of yesterday. Yesterday was story number 2. I had so much fun playing with the vellum, creating that peekaboo see-through portion there, and then I have my big colorful photo with my little circle there with the story on top. Okay, so originally in my foundation pages, or the next thing that I had in my album, and as you guys have seen before, I don't always go with exactly what I have in there in advance. This is what I originally had, and after living yesterday, I have a different kind of story that I want to tell. So I'm actually going to move this to somewhere else. Not sure where yet, but somewhere else in the album. I'm just going to actually stick it back in here like this. And for today, I'm actually going to just do a story that's going to be another full page photo. As many of you guys know, I love the full page photo, and actually one of my favorite pages I did last year wasn't a full page photo, but it was a full page pattern paper with one of these window cards on top. Let's find that in last year's project here. This, you can see a full walkthrough of last year's entire project here on YouTube. So this was story 10. And this is what I did. This was just a pattern paper with one of the window cards that we had last year. And then on the inside, it had journaling with a picture of the tree. And so I was thinking that I did have a story occur yesterday that I wanted to document for my next story in my album, which was Simon, who is my 21-year-old son, who moved out in the beginning of this year, came over because he's doing a film program at our local community college, and he needed to do some filming for one of his finals. And he wanted to film himself meditating, and he wanted me to help him, do some of the around filming that then he could add into his project. And so I was super excited that he was going to come over, and then he came over and I did the filming and took a photo of him. And I love this as an everyday piece of December, right? Not a specifically Christmas story, but it is a part of our story this year, in that this is the first year, right, that Simon hasn't been here or isn't living with us full time. So there's a little bit of a different story to include in here. And as many of you guys know, when I first started scrapbooking, Simon was 1. Well, he wasn't even 1 yet. That was the impetus for me to begin scrapbooking and documenting, was because I had a child. And so here he is now, almost 21 years later. He's actually doing great. He loves his living situation. He's in an independent living program. He was diagnosed with autism when he was 3, if you are new to our family or new to Simon's story, and has overcome a lot of obstacles throughout the course of his life. And he's just an awesome human, and anytime I get to see him, it's great and wonderful, and we have a really special relationship. So all that to say, we're going to use this as the base for my third story. I will also say that as I was printing this photo out yesterday, and I'm printing these 11 inches wide by 8.25 inches tall. That's the size of the outside of the page protectors. But when I was printing this yesterday, I was like, I could easily do an entire December daily album, or an entire album of anything that was full page photos with embellishments, journal cards, whatever else built on top of it. Like, I could 100% do that. I'm not doing that this year. Maybe I'll do that some year in the future. I have other, playful things included in here, but it's hard to go wrong with a full page photo and an embellishment on top, which is kind of what I did yesterday, right? Well, it is, a part of the story that I told yesterday. I did a few other crafty things at the same time. So what I'm going to be doing here is I need to trim this out a little bit. I am going to use one of the window cards. This year we had another collection of 3 window cards. I think they're great because you can do them either way. So last year I did one this way. This time I'm just going to do it inside here. And I've actually already printed out my journaling because I was doing a test with it to make sure that it worked. So I made a box a text box that was essentially 3 by 3. And then I'll be able to just take this and slip this inside of here and then adhere it down. So that's going to be one of the things that I'll be doing here in just a couple minutes. And then the other decision then is like, what do I want to put on the outside? Do I just want to have a number? And I was looking at the sentiments that we had on these cute little labels that were in the main kit. So I think I'm going to use that and probably just put the number 3 on there with the number stickers, and that will probably be the entirety of my page for today, which I love, and that makes me really happy and excited because I think that that's a wonderfully sweet and simple way to bring a story together that's really focused on the words and the photos in this case, and then I'm using a shape, as I like to do, as the home for my journaling. All right, so I'm going to get myself organized here and let's put this page together. All right, so step 1 is just going to be trimming out my photo. I use a Fisker's rotary trimmer. This is the same trimmer that I've been using for years and years now. I have rebought it a couple of times until I learned that you can replace this part. For me, this is the part that ends up dulling, and I replaced the blade as well, but you can actually, I always like to show this at this time of the year for some reason because it's nice to talk a little bit about some of the basic stuff. With this, you can see that like once it gets a ridge in it, then you can just turn it around. You can see I've already used the other side and it has 2 ridges in there, but this one I can just turn to here and then it starts cutting really beautifully again. So again, much love for this trimmer. This part comes out for that easy measuring, and then I'm going to do it right at about 8 1/4. Actually, you know what? I think I'm not going to, I'm going to wait to trim it because I am going to adhere it to the back of this guy right here. This is the photo from yesterday. So we're going to have 2 back-to-back pages, and I might as well just wait until I adhere it down on there, and then I can just trim it either on my trimmer or with my X-Acto. And I don't think that I'm going to be doing any brads or any other fancy things that are going to require me to go underneath there. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and adhere it. I'm using scrapbook.com ruling adhesive. This is my favorite. Got lots of it here. It's worked really good for me. Okay, let's get this on here. So this is one where it was nice because I did write the journaling down yesterday after Simon was here. And so then all I needed to do to actually work on the construction portion of this today is just put it together. So I had already written this up. Let's see, and I'll share that journaling with you in a second here. So you can put this on your trimmer if you want to do it that way. You can also just use an X-Acto knife, which is something that I do when I need to trim it down a little bit. And I don't really care if it's not perfect all the way around. Like if you were to measure it and say, oh, is this still exactly 8.25? I don't care about, that's not important. But I don't like it when I can see the white on there. So that's probably a part where I would grab this and my craft knife and just trim down the edge a little bit right there and get off that little part. Yeah, that should be good. And then I'm going to use my 6-hole punch again to punch the holes. Super easy. Line those up there. Okay, so now I have another page for my album. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I've got my window card here. Last year I actually, did a tie down. I don't feel like I need to do that on this one because of the orientation and it's up and down. It's just going to lay flat anyway. But what I do want to do is tuck my journaling inside there. I just printed this on regular like printer paper. Right? It's not any sort of specialty paper. And I think it's kind of nice that it's thin to be able to tuck it inside of here, right? So you're going to need to kind of figure out where exactly it's going to go. I probably should reprint it again without the lines on there. Let's see if I can get it. My lines are like exactly the same, and so then you can kind of see it in one spot or another. Actually, I'm going to reprint it. I'm going to reprint it so it doesn't have the lines on there so I don't have to have any of the spots where the lines are coming on. All right, while that's printing, let me read you what I wrote for my journaling. I said Simon came over today for some help filming a couple things for one of his finals. He wanted a couple shots of him meditating in the grass. This past fall, he started a film program at our local community college, and he has been absolutely thriving. He's learning so many practical things. I see a spelling mistake. I think I fixed that already. About one of the things he loves most in the world, movies. He's learning how to look through the lens. He's learning how to express himself. He's learning how to compose, shoot, edit, and tell stories via video. I love how his own voice has been coming through in his projects and that his program has welcomed and encouraged that. Creativity for the win. So that's my second story, or this is my third story for December Daily. All right, and so I just reprinted that. You can see I printed it on, again, just that regular piece of paper there. It's gonna cut out around here, and then I'm gonna layer it on top of each other to try to kind of get the same shape, the size that I had before. Let's see. Things, correct spelling, yay. Sometimes if you can lay it on top just like that, and then I can see, you can also hold it up to the window to see if it's even. It's pretty even right there. So I'm just gonna trim around the outside. And then I'll be able to adhere it into the inside of that pocket there. Now, let's talk about a couple different ideas. If you don't have those window cards, we do have digital versions of the window cards that you can buy, and Kelly, who puts our digital packages together, has done a full tutorial to show you how to be able to make these, actually, how you fold them and all of that kind of stuff. So that's available. Another thing you can do if you like the idea of, having journaling on a full page photo like this is you could easily just put a journal card on there, right? A 3x4 journal card. Let's see, I just happen to have this guy right here, but you could put, something like that on there. You could cut out a page protector pocket if you wanted a pocket to slip it into, or you could just lay it down on there. Maybe you have a flip open or a flip up. That would be another way to create something similar to what I'm doing, even if you don't have, the specific window cards. I feel like that there's just a nice little package in there. And I also kind of like, that over the years I have some similar things from year to year, right? Some similar shapes and things like that too. If you watched yesterday's video, I was talking about these star brads, and somebody let me know that they do have those at Michael's, so I may be trying to find those guys. That would be fun. I would like to add some more of those to my stash of stuff, little gold star brads. Okay, so with this, I'm just not pressing down hard until I get it in the right place, which feels generally even for me, and then I can press it down onto the adhesive that I already rolled on the inside. Ooh, okay, so I have a spot here. Now the question becomes, do I want to put something on the inside? I hadn't thought that part through yet. What could I put on the inside of there? So I'm going to put the best part of the season just because I love having visits, right? Visits are great, especially in this season of life, right? It's not always just the Christmas season, but we're telling stories of December and the things that happen generally in this season of life. So what are things I could put on the inside? Simple things would be something like word phrase stickers, right? That would be an easy thing to put in there. What other little embellishments do we have here? These would be probably that would be too thick on the inside. That would probably be cute on the outside. There's the green chipboard that I definitely want to incorporate in there. There's just cute little embellishments like that. That would be great. Let me see what else I have that I might want to add on the inside. It would also be a really nice place for a photo if you had a secondary photo. I don't have a secondary photo from this little time period yesterday. I do have these little chipboard pieces that would be cute on there too. I might use that for something else, but these were from something else. All right, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and look for a photo of Simon from when he was little. a little kid photo. See what I have, a little kid Christmas photo. And I just need it to be 3x3, and then I can adhere it on the inside there. That might be a fun thing to add in. All right, so as I was looking for photos that I could use from, yesterday or recent or pattern paper or something for the inside of this flap, I thought about, what if I include a old photo of Simon, an old Christmas photo. And so I found this one. This is from 2007. This is from the first year that I started doing December Daily. And I actually pulled out the album here. I started by looking just in my digital archives and found this picture and a picture of this project here. And this is the full thing. If you've taken my Storytelling with December Daily workshop, I have videos of all of the early ones. I think it's up to a certain point, and then the rest of them have been on YouTube since then. But it's fun to go back in and look at, what in the very beginning, what was it that I was doing in this project and what were the things I was focusing on. And again, it's words and photos and some crafty fun stuff, right? Some of them are super simple and some of them are more complicated. I really love these days though, where it's like, a 4x6 photo with a transparency on top, and that's the story, right? Lots of envelopes, story enclosed on the inside, boxes, all the different pieces of life at that point in time. And this was just using a ring, 3 rings, and I think I had an acrylic. Yeah, you can see mine have been touched and looked at and opened and all of those things over the years when I've taken my things to events. So you can see that this guy's a little bit wonky on there, but that's okay. That is okay. Still magical to look back on. So I decided that I'm just going to trim this down to 3x3. Actually, it looks like do you guys see can you see the lines on there? There's some lines on there. I think I'm going to clean my print heads and then try again. Okay. That's better. May not even be noticeable to you, but I can see it. Printer maintenance. Yep, that's gotta be done. Okay, so let's trim this 3x3, and then we're gonna adhere it to the inside. It's fun to go back and include some things like this, right? A little bit of inclusion of past stories, past events. Let's see how far down into his face it might cut. Let's trim down just a little bit more. And it's little Simon. Okay, I think I'm going to try it. Let's just see what happens if we adhere this right on the inside and see if we can trim out that little circle part there. Might need to do a little trimming along the edge of the photo also. Whoops, that's where the construction part comes in, right? Okay, so this part, I'm going to try, actually probably scissors will work on here. Let's just see. Oh yeah, okay. Then let's trim this off the top, and then we'll do a little half circle thing there. Okay, that's not bad. It looks like that's from the photo. All right, so for that little half circle part, I think what I'm gonna do, this is a 1-inch circle punch. Let's see if we can just do something that's very similar to what that cut was already. All right. Yes. Okay, that's fun. I love that. I love including something like that. That's definitely like the history. Oh, that was yay! Yay, storytelling. Yay, stories! Woohoo! Okay, let's see. So this, I do want to put that on there. And I'm pretty sure that I just want, okay, actually one thing I wanted to do though on the inside was put what year. Let's see, this was 2007. Actually, I'm going to trim down this side just one more time. Looks like I could get a little tighter so it'll close a little better. And then I think I'm going to use my number stickers to put '07 on there. Let's see how, shouldn't be too thick. What do you think? Let's try it. Oh yeah, I forgot that these are the ones that like sit in that cool way. Yes. Oh, I love it. I love it. So cute. Okay, so I think on here, I'm just going to put the number 3. Let's see what that looks like. Do I want to do 03? Maybe I want to do 03. So now when I do that, it feels like I want to add something along right there. Maybe I will do Simon's initials on there. How about that? Let's see. Let's pull this up and do it again. So other things you could put along the bottom if you feel like you want something there. Lots of things, right? You could put maybe a star embellishment. You could put something that's more relevant to the tree, some little sticker. Because I already have the text right there, I don't feel like a word phrase sticker would fit what I want. Let's see. You do have those chipboard stars. That could go on there. That could go on the top and then the 03 on the bottom. What do we think? My other idea was to put Simon's initials on there, but let's see what does it look like. I think I can pull these up still without them being... Needs to move down. I am way too particular about how these are, how these guys are sitting on there. Okay, so that was kind of what I was looking at with like maybe a star on the top. I think that's good. And then you could always run that through the sewing machine, which I like to do that sometimes, add a little bit of texture on there, but I think this is good enough. I just want to move this guy up a little bit. Okay, cute. And then I'm going to adhere that down on the top, and I'm going to use red line tape for that, just to give it a little extra stick. I'm also going to use red line tape when I adhere the whole thing down on the window card. Okay. So great. Love how this one turned out. So a couple reminders, things to think about for the story, like examples, right, is that as always, we don't always know what is going to happen in throughout the course of the month, right? And so we got to leave space for stories to pop up that could be serendipitous, or that could just be, you know, about something else entirely that we haven't planned for. And that's, I think, part of the beauty. And one of the things that I talk about in the beginning is always being excited for the stories that I'm going to tell that I don't know that I'm going to tell yet. Right? I didn't know that this would be a story in here. So he had texted me and said, can I come over on Saturday and film myself meditating in the grass? And I was like, yes, absolutely. So, but still wasn't like, oh, that could be my story for the day. But then as I was living it, I was like, this is definitely my story for today. And then he ended up hanging out and was working on some of his projects, and he ate dinner with us, and we were watching the Squid Game show, not the original show, but the game show part. I don't know if you guys are watching that, but it's kind of entertaining. So we did that, and then he took off and went to go hang out and do what college kids do on the weekends. So it's pretty awesome. All right. I love how that turned out. I love it. Got the little bit on the top there. Just such a great way. I think those window cards are great for building on top of a photo. But like I said earlier, lots of different ways that you can make that happen too. So let's get this into the album so you can see what that looks like. And voila. Oh, love it, love it, love it. Okay, so here's like 2, and then we've got this guy. And now we have this guy here. Love it. All right, we'll see you guys back here hopefully tomorrow for story number 4.